When that wee red square goes up there, it's up there.
Yeah.
Good evening, folks, and thanks for coming in. I hope you're all enjoying your week so far. Tonight we are welcoming back. Give you a big intro. How's that?
That works. That works.
Welcoming back Matt Barron. Yeah, how's that?
That works. Amazing. Best one ever.
I can do better.
No, that works. That's beautiful.
Does that work for you? As long as that works for you, buddy. Matt's been on a few times, but it's been some time since we last had them on. We were trying to arrange dates and we just could never ever hit the mark. You know, he was busy or I was getting my hair done or whatever, you know, as it happens. Yeah. Hi, Facebook user. There's Sarah. Hey. I think Sarah's happy to see you, Matt.
Well, that's a little bit.
You know,
definitely in a good mood. Definitely in a good mood. At least that's what I'm feeling.
When was the last time you got that many hays?
From all the same person? It's been a while.
From one person. I mean, so Matt goes by the name of the Paranormal Consultant. It's a kind of medical name, don't you think? It's as if you're going to examine a spirit rather than hunt, go searching for a spirit.
Well, actually, we said on one of my show last night, we aren't just investigators. We're not just looking for the evidence and looking for the spirits. We're actually there to communicate and talk with them, help them out in any way we can. So in a sense, we do consult them. If they have a problem or an issue, or even the families, they have an issue or a problem, we consult them. We're researching. We're another term I like to use is active historian. We're reliving history. We were talking to people who lived in the past. So
I like that title. Can I steal it? An active historian. I like that.
Have at it, brother. Have at it. And actually, we can thank the Wicked Consultant for this because when I first started when I shut down my last team, I'll just say it that way. When I backed away from the team setting, I almost just said I'm done with the paranormal field because I was just frustrated. I wanted to help people, and obviously there isn't a lot of, and I know out in the UK, Scotland area, there's not a lot of unity. So I told my wife, I said, I wish that there was something I can do to help teams and people and still do this without the team setting, without being on a team. And she said, what, like a consultant? Paranormal consultant. So she gave me the idea and it stuck. Hey, Laura.
It's exactly. I think Facebook user is hey Lou. Facebook user, if you go into the post for the live and it's blue writing and just hit say give StreamYard permission, use your name. You click that, then your name will pop up. I find the field really frustrating. But it's a good catchy name and it makes you sound quite intelligent.
Well, anybody who's seen my show for more than 5 minutes knows that is the complete opposite.
Well, I was going to say that. We've done a few shows together and intelligence just goes out that window.
No.
There's no, we are serious about what we do. I'm going to come back to Jacqueline's comment a wee second. We are serious about what we do, but at the same time, you need to, we've said this in many a show, you need to, hi Stephen, you need to approach it from a kind of light-hearted kind of angle. I always forget about StreamYard. I forgot what I was saying. You need to kind of approach it. I've watched teams before, and you just want to go and dig your own grave watching them,
And a couple of shows as well. And I think we all know the shows. One in particular.
I watched one the other night. I'm not going to name it. It's an American one. No offense, and they were in this house, and it was demons everywhere. The place was flooded with demons, and there was negative spirits, demons, you name it. It was in this house, and it was just, sitting watching it, and hey, that's better, Jeanette. Thank you. You got to eventually bless her, Jeanette. I love Jeanette. I forgot what I'm on fire tonight. I keep forgetting what I'm going to say. You get these shows, and I know in America one I actually watched some of that one in question, Matt, and and it's all drama, it's all kind of action movie stuff.
Well,
And,
here's the thing though, brother. Like I've even said this about YouTubers and other investigators, or if you're going to do it for entertainment, that's perfectly fine. If you're going to fake evidence, you're going to stage stuff, that's fine. Just make sure you put a disclaimer for entertainment purposes only. Put a disclaimer or something. All evidence staged, or you know what I mean? Just be honest, because it makes us who are actually trying to do legit investigating look like POSs. We look terrible, and it gives us a bad name. So, I mean, if you're going to go out into the field, you have to understand that you're not going to go out and catch a full-bodied apparition and have an interview like what we're doing with a spirit. You're not going to. It's not going to happen. Sorry. And if it does happen, good on you, and let me know where that's at. But if you have to understand that when you're going out there and you're doing these videos and blogs or whatever, sometimes we don't get anything. We go out there and, excuse the pun, it's dead. There's nothing going on. So be entertaining yourself. That's how you'll get the audience. You don't need to fake evidence to get the audience. Be entertaining yourself.
That's it, exactly. I mean, we've been out in investigations.
I had the same problem.
Ben. Hi, Ben, buddy. My name never shows up. I only learned about 3-4 weeks ago how to tell people how to show their name and face on the thing.
Yeah, well, I know you had clicked the link and you give it access. You give StreamYard access, which is fine. I've done it for each of my profiles, but it's something with this whole meta thing. As soon as they switched it to meta, sorry, Facebook, but it's crap. The whole meta thing is crap. And I know it's early stages and I'm being patient, but if it stays the way it's staying, that's crap.
It seems true. I forget every time. But no, as you say, be entertained. We're not talking about do a song and a dance or tell but I've watched some investigation, and you're totally right, Matt. We've been out in nights, and it's been totally flat. There's been nothing, and we're sat maybe 20, 30 minutes and talk, right? You kind of know you're not going to get anything. I feel like last year we done Halloween. We went out. I went to a location. But lasted about 10 minutes. It started pouring with rain, so we abandoned it. So we went to location B, and as soon as we walked in, we were thinking, we just got that feeling.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to happen. There's nobody here. But we tried, as you do. We thought we'll try 15, 20 minutes, but we kind of gave up. But you need to keep your because these people have took the time to come and turn on your channel and watch it. They don't want to watch a statue sitting there hoping that catalog is off and saying
no. You have to be able to catch their attention. You really are everywhere, aren't you, Raymond?
I've noticed Raymond gets hi Raymond, buddy. I don't know this Facebook users. I think they're trying their best to show their name, but bless.
You know what? It'd be funny, brother. You just create a profile and just call yourself Facebook user.
It'd be good.
That'd be a good little prank. Be the most popular person out there.
That would be. Then you could go anywhere, see anything, and nobody would none the wiser. But I compared to Jacqueline was saying, Jacqueline Dixon, she runs Paranormal Path, if I can find it. There it is there.
Okay.
You feel very frustrating. I think if you talk about the kind of the competition that's out there, or just all the kind of drama, Jack.
It's Ben.
Just
and then there's another one, Lydia or Linda. Oh, Linda. I'm sorry, Linda.
Laura.
Yeah. Well, if you go up too. Yeah, there's
Hey, Lynn,
Linda, and then the one below it is Ben. So there's 2 Facebook users.
the two Facebook, but we know their names. We know that's a good thing. We know their names.
That's good. Yeah.
Well, I want to be lovely, Laura. Laura's part of your team, and I need to be nice because she stays about 5 minutes away. And I don't want chapping in the door. Terry beat me up. Go back to live on page. Press more info, and you see StreamYard. Click and agree. Name. Going to have to Ben.
It's funny, Jeanette. I've done that numerous times, whether I'm on Paranormal Consultant, Paracrew Podcast, my main page. Still nothing. It still shows me as Facebook user. I don't know why, but I've given permissions, and so I just go on YouTube. I have an identity over there.
You have someone on YouTube. As what I was saying, I've lost track.
I think we were hitting on the comment about drama. Jacqueline was saying about drama in the field. Honestly, I don't think that will, right? I don't think that'll ever go away. I think there will always be drama because of one word, and that's ego.
Mm-hmm.
Ego will always be there. Now, there is a select group of us, and we are gaining a lot of people with us and working together for para unity. So we take the ego out, we take all the drama out, we're honest with each other, constructive criticism, support each other in these shows and evidence, and it's becoming a beautiful thing. And there it is.
Yeah, Linda. Thanks, Linda.
So, yeah,
Ben's
absolutely.
his comments. I actually have this one going on Facebook and talking with the source on YouTube.
How am I not surprised?
No, I totally agree. Ego in the paranormal is a major problem. No matter how many years ago, you're always going to get people out there that want to be better. I think they're better, than another team or whatever. And say, we're experts. See, that's one word that really gets me in the paranormal. When somebody turns around and says, I'm an expert, you think, bollocks. You're a balloon, you're a cabbage. You're not an expert. Because there's no sort. How can you be an expert in a field that you're constantly learning? I mean, I've known guys that have been into the paranormal for 30, 40 years. Mark Edgerton, for one. He was trained by Peter Underwood, who is a kind of granddaddy of UK paranormal.
Yeah.
A very, very famous investigator. And Mark says to me, he says, I've been doing this 40 plus years and I'm still learning stuff.
Well, we're always changing. Our field is one of those to where it's not an exact science. If it was, we'd have the answers figured out. We'd know how to take care of it. But we don't. We're still, like you said, we learn every day. There's a reason why there's so many theories out there, because we don't know. And in all honesty, in my experiences, we all have to work together to get those answers. And if you have an ulterior motive, if you are after money, you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're just making it harder.
You're in the wrong playing field, basically. Jack was saying, so correct. Ego is a massive problem. I'm not bothered about likes, shares, etc. I just love to work with like-minded people and try and gain more evidence of the afterlife. That's spot on, Jacqueline.
100%.
I mean, a lot of people think, oh, I got 2,000 views on my last show or my last, I'm amazing. And then you get a wee guy who said, well, I get 5.
Yeah.
But the two of them aren't any different. But the one with the ego trip thinks that they are different. All good. I'm just sticking up these comments as they come up. Did that work? Don't know. Did it work? Who knows?
Nope.
No, I got to support all my. There's no expert in this. There isn't, Ben. Anybody says they're an expert is talking through their basement, if you get what I mean. Don't swear in this, or just say basement. I think you get the general kind of idea. No one is better in the paranormal for you. Some people have done it longer and have more experience. There's no expert. Oh, you said cabbage, not honest fear, right? I'm going to freak everybody out with this, but I don't know if it was a dream she had, or I used to say, I'm going to throw cabbages at you. So I think this is clearly stuck there. So she's got this thing, a fear about being tied to a tree and having cabbages thrown at her. That's all I'm going to say on it.
I've heard worse fears, but to his their own. We all have our own opinions and our own thoughts and like our own fears. So okay.
A dream. It was a dream she had. But as Jacqueline says, she's not bothered about likes and all the rest. And that's not why we're here.
No.
We're no one. Don't get me wrong. We done a show with Pie and Eggery months and months ago, and we checked our YouTube, and we summed like 2,500 views. So you get yourself a wee pat in the back. Say, that was a good one. But then you move on.
See, for me, it's quality. You get your quality people, like the people that I work very closely with in the P3 program, yourself, people on Parapost, Paralinks, all these people that I'm working with, they're quality people. It's not the quantity. I have less than 300 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Does that bother me? No. Because would it be a nice, goal to get to 500? Oh, absolutely. I'd love to. That'd be great. But at least I know that the people that are there believe the same I believe, and we're out to support each other. And that word of mouth will start growing and it will start taking effect. And I've only been doing the podcast for about 1.5 years. And the reach that we've gotten in that time frame is phenomenal. I mean, if you would have told me you and I, 2 years ago would have been talking, I'd be speaking to people in Scotland, England, Japan, all over the world, I would have been like, you're out of your mind. Maybe here in Pennsylvania, in the States, okay, maybe, but never like this. And that just shows that, with the right mindset and the right quality of people, anything is possible.
That's true. As you say, if you told me about a year and a half ago, we'd be sitting two handsome guys together, sitting talking on a panel, even though I don't have a beard, but two handsome dudes with that.
Well, you have to decipher between the both of us, I mean, I know the accent, are different, but
I think
we could be brothers. I mean, we could be twins. I shaved all this off. We're twins.
You could be my mister from another sister.
You never know.
Or whatever. I thought I was going mister for another sister. But I don't know if I was saying again. Jeez. It's got, what was I saying?
Something about 1.5 years ago, we'd be talking.
Aye, exactly. We live in a small town. I'm originally from Glasgow, obviously, but we stay in a small town in the west coast of Scotland. Nothing major, nothing special. And we started doing a podcast. We never thought we'd be talking to the likes of yourself, Patty Negri, Scary Entertainment, David Espinosa, the list is like that. And it's no bragging, it's no boasting, but it shows you that when you meet the right people, and you can tell right away that somebody's genuine, and you just kind of click, I mean, we've done shows together that's been kind of like 2 hours, 2 and a bit hours long.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I think our one show was almost 3. We were just sitting here just going and going, and it's like, oh crap, yeah, it's really.
And the conversation never runs dry or anything, and
no.
So you can't tell when somebody's genuine, but then you get these cabbages. Sorry, Laura, you get these cabbages that are just in it for the views. They're in it for the money. They're in it for the fame. Mm-hmm. I'm going to throw up some comment. No experts. You go out and as your spouse want to talk, I don't want to talk to you. Take the night as it comes. If it's quiet, there's nothing you can do. Hate it when they fake it. Queen Dixon says, I just try and help people to promote themselves as long as they're genuine. And I host a weekly chat with Paranormal Path, Jacqueline Show on a Monday, 8 p.m. There'll be a plug for you, Jacqueline. You can send me the check later by PayPal. Thank you. And I speak to different people in the community to find out their stories. Same with us at the other dimension. We have regular core viewers and others that dip in and out. It's interaction with the regulars that makes the show what it is. Exactly. And I think these podcasts, I mean, let's face it, with the pandemic, we're locked up. Over here, it was about a year and a half, something like that. So we couldn't go anywhere. So that's how we started doing the podcast. And with these podcasts, it brings so many people together.
Absolutely.
It's a way of passing the time. Because let's face it, everybody's in their house looking at four walls, thinking we can't go investigating. What are we going to do? So it gives people somebody to chat to, and it's also brings people together to learn. Share their experiences, share their knowledge, whatever, and give each other tips, advice, investigation wise, stuff like that. A dodgy Scottish tenor, Clydesdale. Bank of Scotland, actually, dear Bank of Scotland. Thank you.
And actually, I was just looking. Paranormal Path. I actually am following on Facebook. I'm actually a part of it.
Cool. Jacqueline, nice. Jacqueline, she's a lovely lady. She's in camping, seems herself. She loves her tents. She has about 20 tents or something.
Oh, geez.
She's addicted to tents. But, they're all nice ones. But I like a good tent now and again.
Yeah.
And I think the way the paranormal is in the UK, it's making it harder for new teams that want to come in.
Well, I will say this, brother. As you know, I run the P3 program. We actually have a UK division now that's run by Mystic Paranormal UK. And him, along with a few others, and I think you and I have kind of spoke a little bit about it too. I'm working on some events for more or less conventions for you guys. So that way you guys can start networking people who I know are good people like yourself and many others, and basically unify each other and help build something and get something going for the UK to support a nice support system.
Mm-hmm.
I know everybody said that over here in the States, we have a lot of teams, we have a lot of people, we can network easier, stuff like that. Well, my thought is, okay, well, you guys are on a smaller island, you guys are in a smaller country, you guys should be able to do this way easier. But we're making some things happen. We're trying.
I know it's smaller because I think Jennifer, who runs our American team, she is based in Oregon.
Okay.
Madras or something, Oregon. She'll probably kill me if I get the name of the town wrong, but it's in Oregon anyway. And I think the whole of the British Isles can fit into Oregon itself.
Well, Oregon's on the complete other end of the U.S. for me.
I love America, and we've got a lot of friends in America. You as well. Also I had to say that because you're on.
Yeah, I know. I've seen the screenshots.
They're private. They may be private, but America's just so vast. It's massive, and it's all the time zones that you've got.
Oh, that's even yeah. Do you know that was actually one of the hardest things? I thought doing these podcasts, the hardest thing would be like being in front of a camera and having stuff to talk about. No, it's the freaking time zones. Getting people scheduled. That is the worst. I mean, heck, how long did it take you and I? We're like, what time is it now? Okay, so what's this time? So wait, so let's do some quick math. Okay, so it's 5 hours. Or wait, no, 4 hours? Wait. That's the hardest. And don't even get me started. I love people like PETA from the Ethereal Sisters and her team, but to even try to get Australia time for
we're quite close with Hectic Paranormal, Jem and Kate, and we finally nailed it down. They're 9 hours ahead of us.
Oh, there you go.
But their clocks change soon, and so then they change it by. Now get this, their clocks change by an hour, but then they'll be 2 hours. They'll be like 11 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, ours will actually go back an hour. We'll be going back an hour. So,
but it's, as you say, trying to being in front of the camera is fine. You know, don't get me wrong, the first few podcasts we done were a wreck, you know, but however, but it's we did a live, about a year ago with Patty Negri, Rick McCullum, we had Ghost Sisters on, Sophia Temperwood, and a full panel, Jim Martin was on, and it took me about a month and a half to put that together.
Yeah.
Because they're on different parts of America.
Yeah, well, see, and that's one thing I love about like what I'm doing. Like, I'm not just working with other groups and teams from all over with the P3, but even the Paracrew, even my show, the Paracrew podcast. Well, one of my shows. It's not just me. It's me and 4 other co-hosts, my wife included, and we all split it. We all split up the what we do and our tasks and our jobs. And I'm telling you, Sarah Squeakers has done an amazing job. She already has it scheduled out till freaking April of next year. And I'm going,
oh no, that's too long. I schedule us till maybe 2 months ahead.
oh, she's on it. She said, well, what do you want? I said, well, just do whatever you want. Find some interesting people. If they want to come on, great. If they don't, no big deal. We'll figure something out. I think about a week or two later, she sends me a message. Yeah, we're already booked out until February. What?
Well, you
goes,
did. Yeah. Tell her to go ahead, didn't you?
Yeah, and then I think it was last week. I said, so when's our next availability for the show? I have someone who wants to, hop on. And she said, mid-April. I think you're missing a couple months because last I knew it was February. What happened to March? Oh, that's already booked. Holy crap.
It is hard scheduling guests, and we were trying to leave October kind of free because we're starting filming this Sunday on the Wallace Trail, and we had 2 big investigations this month as well. And so we're trying to kind of leave October, no show free, but just do maybe 4 or 5,
Yeah.
And but it's turned out, and then it sounds big-headed, it's not meant to be big-headed, but we've got that many people wanting to come back, and then people that are wanting to come on, like new guests, fresh meat, as they say, you don't want to say to them, right, you need to wait till December. Because I'm not waiting till December, you can sod off, I'll go elsewhere.
Well, I mean, we've even said too, if somebody really wants to come on, or we can make special shows. Like typically they're Wednesday and Friday nights, and we can easily make another show. We can do an early show another night, or like tonight, for example. I'm going live. I'm testing some things out. There was a little bit of some hiccups on my show last night. I don't know what was going on, but like half of my destinations here on StreamYard wouldn't go. It was all Facebook. So I got to kind of fiddle around with that. So I'll be doing some testing. But, Tuesday nights, typically we don't have a show. We don't do a show. And then Thursdays, we don't have a show. If somebody wants to come on, cool. We'll do a special show.
You just if you're not got a show schedule and you think, I was going to take that night off, you think, well, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to throw up these comments, Matt.
Yeah.
Laura, absolute brown idea. UK seems to be, I've got this evidence is better than yours type thing, and there's a lot of paranormal teams forget the core reason they're in the paranormal, the passion of it, supporting each other and encouraging each other. Very, very true. Some teams start off maybe with good intentions, but then maybe a couple of months doing it, they just get carried away with themselves.
Well, it all comes down to this too, Laura, that whole ego thing. They think they're chasing the all elusive dollar, or, the money. They want the money, they want the fame, they want this, and they find a good spot and they think that's theirs. And they don't want to share it out, or, they try reaching out and people, again, it's just ego. The thing is when you find people, good people, solid people like Scott and a couple others, you work closely with them. And these people who are growing, even the ones faking or, doing stuff like this, they may get 1 million subscribers on YouTube. That's great. Congratulations. You found 1 million people to listen to you. Cool. My group of, let's say, 100 teams or whatever, we've got 10 million subscribers. We have 10 million people listening to us. We have the better opportunity than you do. There is power in numbers. And it's, if you're after views, network. It's that easy. Network, work together, promote positivity. A lot of us, including people in the P3, we all agree that, drama and, the negativity that does sell, great. But positivity, it's time for positivity. Start promoting it, stand by each other, and start making the difference. If somebody is trying to start any drama with you, bye. That simple. You can
Well,
block them. No big deal. Just block them. It doesn't end their existence. You just block them.
kick them to the curb, as we say. Facebook, I think this is Ben. Now I've heard over the last few days several, quite a wee bit about things happening, what have you. Some groups are blocked from different groups, so what happens then if a group's blocked for another one?
Keep doing what you're doing. I've been blocked. I've been, trolled. I was told last night that this guy's gonna kill me. He literally said, "You will die," and I'm like, "Yeah, so will you. We all will." And I've gotten threatened before, and you know what? Heck, I've even been told by a certain individual that they were going to end my career on a certain date. That date came, I went live, and I'm like, I'm still here. What are you going to do? Who cares? Who cares about other people? Do you support everybody you can? Be that example. If you want positivity in our field, it starts with you. Don't spread rumors.
The whole kind of blocking business. Any group that, we can all follow the groups. We can all have different opinions and stuff like that. Let's face it, we're not all going to agree 100% of the time.
No.
But I have heard groups blocking people who talk to other groups, and there's no room for that. That to me, that's total crap. You don't. That's not how.
So, I look at it this way. I graduated from school. He's talking to this person. He's talking to that. Who cares? It's a big field. We can all work together. As long as if you have criticism for somebody, make it constructive. That golden rule, treat other how you want to be treated. If somebody came to you and you gave them, or they gave you advice that you're going to give them, are you going to get upset about it? Yeah. Well, then probably change your tone. If someone's saying about positivity and you're getting offended by it, who cares what people say? And realistically, what's it really going to do? Stick by your morals, stick by what you believe, follow what you believe, and find like-minded individuals and work together. If you're doing all the right things, you have nothing to worry about. And if somebody blocks you or blocks somebody else, who cares? It's Facebook. Is it really going to ruin your day? Is it going to send you to the hospital? Is it going to financially drain? No, who cares? That's why I love the block button. I love it because when people start getting upset and start, running their mouths and starting drama, block. Guess what? Don't see it anymore. Don't care. I still go to bed and I sleep very well most of the time.
Yeah. Not from me, Ben W. Nope. Jacqueline, hi again. Hi, Jacqueline. I didn't think that was your comment, Ben. But in the UK, there's so much crap going on, and people blocking each other, blocking teams, as I say, people get, bullying as well in the paranormal, which is just totally school stuff, bullying another team, and some of them tend to go for younger teams. I don't mean as in age-wise. I mean kind of like newer teams. The no harm with them, no disrespect, that haven't been in the paranormal that long, and they're still finding their feet. They're still finding that direction they want to go in. Then all of a sudden they've got these cabbages. Sorry, Laura. That are trying to bully them, or they say, right, you can't talk to X, Y, and Z, but you can talk to A, B, and C. And you think, why? It's not a competition. People like that to me should not be in. They're in the totally wrong field, basically, and they should be kicked out. And that's just, I'll probably get shot down for saying this, but I'll not be the first time,
Well,
Um,
here's the thing, brother. The fact is you guys need to collectively, if I may be so blunt, everyone in the UK, be the example. If you want positivity, if you want para-unity, if you want working together, then start doing it. It doesn't matter what somebody does, because we have already stated it's going to take all of us together collectively to figure out what is going on in our field. Who cares what somebody's like? It's Scott. So let's say Scott does something that I don't like. Does what he's doing affect me? No, not at all. I don't care. If he royally messes up and he gets, in trouble, it's not going to affect me. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing.
if I mess on get royal on you, are you going to come to my rescue or something? Bail me out?
And mate, I'll pray for you.
Thanks very much. Thanks
I
very
thought
much.
I thought you got a little something there. I wasn't
I
sure.
got
I was
lots
gonna
of-
let you know. I got nothing but love for you, brother.
I know. Same, and it's as they say, ditto, ditto. I mean, you should always help build each other up and help each other. But unfortunately, our world's a horrible place with some nasty people who like to put others down. There is,
Absolutely.
and the talking behind people's. We've experienced that as well. Gail has as well. Gail's in her team, and when she first came on board, she experienced this. Funnily, for a guy who came out investigating with us,
Mm-hmm.
and then he was mailing Gail saying that we were doing it all wrong, and basically, Scott and his team's doing it wrong. Come out with me. I'll show you the right way to do it. And
Again, there's no experts. There's no. I hate that term, professional paranormal investigator. I hear BS. The field is always changing. It's always changing. We've already established that. We all have our own ways of investigating. What works for some may not work for others. Why? Because we have to be comfortable doing what we're doing. We can't be out there out of our element. We have to be solid. And, realistically, here's the thing. And this is what I love. And where was it? I know I'm jumping ahead, but Laura's comment down below. Um, that's exactly what it is. And it's funny when people talking, like you said, behind others' backs. If somebody comes to me and says, "Oh, did you hear what this person did?" No, they start telling me and be like, "Okay, well, if you don't like that, have you spoken to them about it?" Well, no. Well, then why are you talking to me? That's part of the problem. Call these people out in a nice way. If someone comes to you and says, "Oh, well, Scott's doing this, Scott's doing that," okay, well, have you talked to Scott? Well, no. Okay, go talk to Scott. Don't talk to me. Put a stop to it. Eventually, these people, or as you said, cabbages, these people.
sorry, Laura, you never say sorry, Laura.
Sorry, Laura. I pray for forgiveness. How about that? But anyway, these people will run out of individuals to talk to because nobody will want to listen. They'll be like, okay, well, if you're not going to talk to this person, why should I listen? Once you start that, it'll start a chain reaction, and they'll eventually run out of people who will listen to them. And it's working. It's working, and it's fun.
It's just waiting on that. It's frustrating, as Jacqueline said earlier. It's frustrating when you know it's going on. These people have not a clue what they're talking about. They still bang on, etc. And it is frustrating waiting for that day where they fall on their ass. Basically, excuse the phrase, people. Sorry. Why do new paranormal teams get bullied a lot when they're just following their dreams and hobbies? Exactly. They're new in the paranormal. It's what their passion is. They want to learn about it. They want to go out investigating and find out. Maybe hopefully get contact with spirit and stuff like that. But then you get these cabbages. I'm being polite here. I've got many words to describe these people. Sorry, Laura, but this is the most polite word I can use because it's a subject I feel very strongly about, and I think if I started, I wouldn't stop. Do you know what I mean, Matt?
Trust me, I did I did 1 2-hour rant about it, and I did another hour and a half rant, and yeah, I've done a couple of videos about this, and I've just gone off. I had adult language. I was a couple of gestures, but to answer that question, I think the biggest problem is because these people, and I'll say people, they get scared. They get scared that these newer teams will outshine them, and they don't want it. They figure, you know what? They're just starting out. They're just learning. What better way to stop them in the field than to break them right away?
I was going to say that they might see a new team and think, it's a fresh new team, and they're doing, they're investigating, and these people are watching. Oh, wait a minute, they could be a threat to me, because they're going out and they're doing good investigations, or they get tons and tons of evidence, or whatever. It goes on in these people's minds. They get these kind of warped ideas. They're going to outdo me, so I can't have that. So they're new. They don't have a clue about the paranormal. I'm just going to bully them out the door.
Mm-hmm.
And how it works. Sadly, you always get people being childish. Exactly like you do.
Yep.
There's always going to be one thingy in the field, basically. I was going to see cabbies here, but I better not. I don't see cabbies, man.
You might run out of apologies.
I have only 3 or 4 left, and I'll stop saying that. It's Susan Troy is why he's selling on the parrot. I've been ready to put that comment up. Oops. That was a complete shame. As the old saying, with kindness.
Yep.
I wouldn't waste my time watching and having an interaction with so-called kids. See, everybody's on tape. You know what I mean?
Arcade?
Margate comments.
Oh, okay. Ben's letting us know who that person was.
Right. Right. It's Jenny. Oh. And then when new teams go to location, goals of activities, and another say you fake it and call it. Aye.
Honestly, Jenny, that's never going to change. Just like with a lot of the issues in the field, some will diminish, but with evidence, unless the person's there, they will always have doubts. There will always be the doubts. But you know what? Again, who cares? If you had a great experience, if you caught great evidence and you didn't fake it, you believe in it, great. Good on you. Because until we can figure this out, I don't think we'll ever not have that.
You're always going to have the doubters, the jealousy, etc. And I've seen in many a show that when you go in an investigation, it's what you experience yourself. You might not get, any K2 activity, any cat balls going off or anything, but you might have that experience yourself, where it's a feeling or you hear something, whatever. You have that personal experience that you can't explain. You've had that experience. And sometimes, I've had it myself. Laura's had it. Gail's had it. Her team as well. Sarah, I've been in our teams had one kind of experience or another. It's when you get that personal experience that you say, well, I can't debunk that. I know what happened, and it sticks up there. You're always going to get people who are going to doubt the K2, even though you get intelligent answers, on response. People will say, oh, that's rigged.
Well, here, I even give a great example that I'd like to use too. It's like if someone shows you an EVP, an electronic voice phenomenon. If someone shows you an audio clip or, let you listen to an audio clip, you can't tell me as an investigator in your mind, you're like, that's somebody there, no matter how clear it is. You could always sit there and your first reaction will be, it's somebody there. It's contamination. It's somebody speaking, someone alive speaking. You can't tell me that doesn't happen. Now, if you weren't there, if you were there, if you were there, you just set a recorder down and walked away. You walked away and you caught that same EVP, it's paranormal. But if you show it to a friend or family member or another team, the first question they'll ask, who was around?
Mm-hmm.
That's why. It's the same thing. It's a great experience. That's great. But as far as proving 100% with no doubt it's paranormal, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen quite yet.
No,
it will.
I totally, Laura's saying we're going to follow it, Gav. I'm apologising, Laura, and I says I'm being polite. I'm using that word, just to be polite. I totally get that, and it's people are going to doubt. People are going to say, well, there must have been people around. Somebody's walking past, goodbye in a car, whatever. we've had we were out. I think it was 2 weeks ago or something. A Friday, we went to an old graveyard, and there was sixes there, I think, 5 or 6s, and we were all standing together in this great, and everybody heard this metal clunk sound at the same time. We caught it on camera. It's on our YouTube channel, Investigation. You can hear it in the background. Now, we all heard it, and we had a look about. There was not one person there. There was metal. There was a family plot there with a metal railing right round it.
Okay.
And on top of the railing was a bit of metal, maybe 8 inches long. It was quite solid. And so I lifted it and hit it off the railings. And I says to the team, is this what you heard? And he says, that's what we heard. Now, we know ourselves that we were all standing together. There was nobody else in that, because this place is in the middle of nowhere. There was nobody else for miles around, but we heard that metal. But as you say, Matt, somebody say, well, there was somebody behind the hedges, or somebody done it and ran away.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing. It's just like with drama in the field, like, oh, he said, she said. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Like, if I play an audio clip and I know for a fact nobody was around, and I caught a Class A, a perfect EVP, and Scott, you sit here and say, well, it sounds like somebody's standing right there, man. I'm sorry, but that's what I feel like it is. Okay, I could do one or two things. I can get mad and be like, no, you have to believe me. I'm your friend. You have to believe me. No. Or I can be like, okay, well, no, there wasn't. I can put up video, audio, whatever, but still, there's going to be something. You have to be open to criticism, both giving criticism constructively and receiving it. We are investigators, folks. This is what we do, and it's investigating all sides, which includes every interaction between teams. You have to look at it from the other perspective. If there's going to be true pair unity, you have to look at the other side. Okay, well, maybe what I said or what I did may have made them upset. Okay, well, talk to them about it. Work it out. Be adults. Work it out. Show them that respect.
Exactly. That's the one. Even though you might disagree with the person's findings, I mean, you know yourself, Matt. We all hear different things, and we all see different things. What might sound like, a word maybe William to you might sound like Thomas to me. And maybe several names to other people. But you don't shoot the person down for that.
No.
You don't say, right, you're an a-hole and you're crap. You don't know what you're talking about because I heard the word Thomas and that's what it is. That's, to me, you say, right, well, you heard Thomas. I heard William. You heard Thomas. That's fine. We both heard something. We just can't agree on what it is, but there was something there. The main thing is that there was something there, regardless of who hears what. But that's the trouble. These people in the UK, I know I keep talking about the UK, it's probably the same in America. In the UK, people, because you disagree with them, bang, you're blocked, you're bullied, you're the enemy, you're Satan, and they start talking, don't talk to him, don't talk to her, blah, blah, blah. And it just spreads like a disease, basically.
Yeah, and I've told people, go for it. You want to talk crap about me? Have at it. Because at the end of the day, people are going to come to my show. They're going to come talk with me, and they're going to see nothing but positivity. So you know what? Don't care.
Jeanette makes a good point. Actually, let go over your head. You're there, and viewers also see what's happening. Just get back to the scene with that video with the metal clank. In the video, you can see we're all standing together. And if I remember correctly, as soon as we heard the sound, I started panning around with the torch and the camera. And it showed that there was nobody there. Just when Jeanette said that, don't worry, Jenny, you have a good network of paranormal friends who support you and your team. That's 100%. Jenny runs Supernatural UK. We had her on about 2 weeks ago, I think, Jenny, it was. I think it was 2 weeks. Lovely lady. And we back her 100% because she is, they're a relatively new team. I think it was around about April, May time that they started, they formed as a team.
But Denny, you can also reach out to myself if you like. I'm always here too. So
yeah, I reach out to Matt. but she's a lovely girl, and she's nice, she's genuine. I've watched a few investigations. They're really good. They don't put on the big drama or anything. They're laid back. They have a laugh and a joke, and they go on there, and they have had some good results.
Good on you. And I'd love to actually might have to get you scheduled for my show.
She's come back here first. Jenny, you come back here first. I saw you first.
Well, I'm booked out till April, so.
So this time tomorrow will be August or September or something, probably.
Knowing Sarah, yeah, probably.
Of 2024.
So you've got plenty of time, but no, 100%. Supernatural UK, definitely give them a buzz. As I always say, if you're talking about me, Lisa Lee and someone else, I won't. And also, I'll know more about me than you'll ever know.
I love that.
It's Jenny S. It's Supernatural UK GB.
All right. Oh,
names on your group, Jenny. I thought it was just Supernatural UK. See, Andy Murphy does this. Andy Murphy, that we run the collective network with, he's always adding letters onto his group name. And I think he does it just to basically confuse me, But I say, but I think you need that personal experience. No matter how much gadgets you've got with you, nothing can replace that personal experience that you have.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think I found you. Let's see.
Thanks, Lord. That's Andy's
Oops.
UKGWP. He's over your neck of the woods. He's in Antelope Valley. Him and Kirsty. That's the group they run. It's just Supernatural UK. The emoji just came up. That's fine.
No.
That's how to find them.
Found you. I got you.
Yeah. Oh, he's got you. That's you're buggered now, Jenny. He's got you.
Yeah, found you now. But the other thing is too, and we were talking about chatting with people about evidence and being constructive. One thing I learned in my management training is called a build-up, breakdown, build-up method. You build them up, and then you break them down with constructive criticism, and you build them back up. So, like in the case of the EVP, you may hear something, I may hear something different. Hey, that's a great catch. It's a great EVP, nice and clear. Love, it sounds creepy, but here's the breakdown. I'm hearing this. This is what I'm hearing. This is how, I'm think it is. And then build them right back up. But keep in mind, that still is a great catch. It's nice and clear and everything like that. But yeah, so, and build them up, always end on a positive. If you end on a positive, you can start on a positive.
It's a beautiful thing.
I mean, we are going to get captures, that we think are the real thing, whether it's an EP, a photograph, whatever. And then I've told this story quite a few times, but I'll make it short and sweet. A couple of years ago, we took a photograph. I believe it was Greyfriars Kirkyard in Edinburgh, and it looked like, when we look back at the photograph, it looked like a wizard. Especially I can describe it, pointy hat, beard, kind of thing. We were in this part of this other group at the time. We put the photograph into the group, and we will never state anything's paranormal. Never. We will always say, look, this is what we got. What do you think? We always leave it open for opinion, because I think if you label something, this is paranormal, then you're opening yourself up to get shot down, basically. Yeah. So we put this photo in, we say, look, we've took this at a cut card. What do you think? And this guy, nice guy, came back. He was into photography and all the gadgets, and he says it's a plant pot. And he sent me a copy of the photograph. He dripped that part of it. He says, listen, mate, you've photographed a plant pot. And so we looked at it and we thought, geez, it's a plant pot.
Well, I understand what you're saying, because I don't know if you saw, but I was at the USS North Carolina battleship this past year. And guy I was investigating with has an amazing capture. Absolutely amazing. You see him with the camera on the ship, swings the camera around nice and smooth, perfect speed, and says, I feel like there's a consultant here. Me. because I was coming down, walking towards him, but I was still in the distance. He saw me, camera didn't. Well, upon review, as he's swinging, there's a figure sitting at one of the tables, just kind of hunched over, just like this, just leaned over, sitting it down. And he thought, and originally I thought it was a spirit. He caught an apparition. I thought, wow, that's a great catch. Absolutely great catch. So I told him, he said, well, here, check it out, watch it. It's one of my favorites. I said, okay, cool. I started watching it over and over, and that's when the investigator side of me came in. I was like, well, maybe I'll hear an EVP, or maybe I'll hear something or see something that he didn't. And I started watching, and I'm like, wait a minute. Around that time frame, I saw our tour guide walk past me. And it was just before he said, I feel like there's a consultant here. So I started thinking about it. I'm like, I wonder. So I found a picture, I took a screenshot of another video that has him in it. And sure enough, I blurred that up. I made it like look the same. It was exactly him. The lettering on the shirt lined up, the way he was sitting lined up, everything was him. The time frame fit perfectly. And he was a sneaky SOB. He was so sneaky. He needed a bell around his neck. I have never heard anybody walk around a battleship so quietly than this guy. And he had no flashlight, nothing, no light source at all. He would just wander around the ship. I was like, but I told him, I said, dude, I think you caught our tour guide. And I showed him the evidence. And, you know, it happens. Sometimes it happens. But I think that's why a good, solid network system is key to this, because it keeps us in check. We'll be excited. We'll think we catch something amazing, but we have to have some sort of grounding system. We need to have somebody there as an outside, you know, looking in and go, well, hold on, let's work on this. Let's, you know, take it from somebody who wasn't there. And if you still are left with unanswered questions, then it's probably paranormal.
See, that's why we'll put, you know, if we do get a photograph that we can't explain, then we will put it up and say, look, what do you think? Because you need to get other people's food. There's too many, I call it the paranormal wagon. There's too many teams out there that just, you know, they'll take a photograph and they'll jump in the paranormal. This is an apparition. We call it spirit. And it could be anything. It could be a combine harvester. They're saying, you know, this is a ghost machine and ghost train, whatever crap. You need as many people to look at it as possible and get there. And, you know, if you get 10 people and 8 people come back and say, we can't explain that, we don't know what it is, you know. It's like, see, we did a place last year called Caldwell. We were there for 2 months, done about 10 investigations, and we got quite a lot of evidence that, and I sent it to loads of different people. I sent one particular EVP to 11 different people, and every one of them came back and said, with the necophonic on it, it says that's not through the app. That is in real time. That lady, it's what I call the whispering lady. That lady was beside you when she said, she says a sentence. I'll need to send you the clip, actually. Or maybe you were one of the people I sent it to. I don't know. I sent it to about 11 different people. And
I get sent a lot of crap. I get sent stuff almost every day. And you know what? I love it. I absolutely love it. And, you know, that's why I do this. You know, I'm here to help. And that's part of it. You know, and I tell people, I'll be blunt with you. I'll let you know. I'll be like, look, if I say it's this, like, I will just say right now, don't ever send me an orb. Don't you ever send me an orb. I will shoot that down very quickly. I don't care how clean your house is. There's still dust. I'm sorry, folks, but orbs, I'm not. I believe there are true orbs out there. I do believe that because I've seen a couple. But in a photo or a video, especially a night vision, very, very skeptical. Very skeptical.
You see, I remember one photo we took particular a castle, and it was pitch black, and we looked at the photograph later, and there was a perfect circle, a white light, just against a wall. There was a kind of, it used to be a window, and the rest of the time was coming through the window, and it was a perfect circle basically. And where we were in the cat, there was nothing around that could create that light. And it wasn't coming from any of torches or anything. And I know there's a big debate about orbs, are they real, are they not, dust, etc. We couldn't explain that photograph. We could not explain that.
And that's fine, brother. Like I said, I do believe orbs can happen. But to sit there and say they're, your aunt or uncle or, a relative, coming to talk to you. No, to me, you have to catch something else with it, because an orb is just by definition a collective of energy. It's just energy. There's no identity with it. It's just energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like static electricity. It's just energy. There's no rhyme or reason. If you catch footprints with it, an EVP, if you catch a partial apparition around it, like a mist or something, and an orb's in the center of it, great. That's great. That's validation of what that is. But just a ball of light, please. I mean, that's just me.
I actually get that. See that light we caught, we didn't say it was an orb. We just couldn't explain it. Well,
and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. And like I said, orbs happen. Orbs happen all the time.
And it's like a location that we've always had quite a good bit of activity at. Jackie said there was a group in Ireland who posted a newspaper article in my group capturing a monk.
Ooh.
And another person debunked it by Google as there was something in the doorway.
Well, you also have to think of too. I think it used to be talked about a lot, but not so much, and that's matrixing. The mind sees what it wants to see. Just like if you look at the stars behind me, somebody will see a smiley face. You will see something. You will see something that's recognizable. Matrixing. Mm-hmm. That's the mind sees what it wants to see, trying to bring calmness or collectiveness to chaos, and that happens. Like taking a picture of a window. You'll get the reflection. You'll see smears. You'll see a face. I guarantee it. Mirrors, same way. It's just matrixing. That's something you got to take into account as well.
Because a lot of people don't. A lot of people just say, there's a face. There's a man in that window, etc. Yeah. Obviously, I'm unsure, but I can verify that I saw a white mist moving through a window which had no windows at location. Others experienced it too. Scott was the only one that didn't see it. Aye, that was it's an old castle we went to. I think it was 5 years there, and obviously there's no glass in any of the windows, whatever. But everybody else at different times saw what they described as a white mist going by. The windows are an old doorway. I was the only bugger I'd ever seen. I felt so left out.
Were you the one outside with the fog machine? Is that where the mist came from? You had a smoke machine.
Bit of net cutting running about.
Oh, okay.
Woo! Around I surrender flags. That was there. But, no, I haven't been seeing this white mist at different times, and I never ever got to see it.
Yeah, I've had that. I've gone and heard a lot of great things, and people say, "Oh, well, I caught this, I caught that," and I'm like, I don't catch that. I mean, I had a couple of really good experiences on the battleship, but like Gettysburg is notorious for activity. The whole area. Mm-hmm. I've gone there and had nothing happen. I've gone there and I've seen a couple of shadows. I've seen some apparitions wandering around. Now they're at a distance, so I can't sit there and say it's not, it's a spirit, but it's definitely not normal. Like when there's no reenactments going on, and to see people in that period clothing, Civil War clothing, walking around in the tree lines, I can't sit there and say, yeah, that's a spirit, because I can't debunk it. I can't sit there and say, okay, well, could be a reenactor, because there are a lot of individuals who work in Gettysburg that dress in period dress, but they don't do like the reenactment, the battle reenactments. So they could just be going for a walk. Who knows? I don't know. It's
cheers, Ben. Take care.
Hey,
Ben. I certainly mentioned Gettysburg because we Taryn Perker on last Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Tuesday I was there.
We Paranormal Brew, and she does a lot of Gettysburg. No, it's Gettysburg.
Like a burger. Gettysburg. Yeah.
And she was telling me some stories about when she was younger, The way she went, it's a national park or whatever.
Yep.
I remember one story she was saying when she was younger. She was with her mum, and they were on their way out of the park, and the car stopped. Hi, Irene doll, and there was these three big bangs on top of the car roof. Now I might have this wrong, but it's along the same lines. And they looked out the window and they saw sort of three figures standing in the middle of a field, and her mum thought it was three of the park rangers, but they were gone as quick as she'd seen them.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that they see apparitions in Gettysburg. They've heard things. I've heard random cannon fire. Again, I can't say if it actually was that. But it makes sense though, because there's a lot of death there. There's a lot of energy still there. And especially right after a reenactment, they get a reenactment out there that stirs up a lot of feelings and a lot of energy. So it's beautiful though. It's a beautiful area.
Do you think, this might sound stupid, boss, I'm Scottish, and never been to Gettysburg. When they do these reenactments, I meant to ask Taryn this last week, I totally forgot about it. They do these reenactments, do you think that the spirits that are there stand and watch?
I think that maybe, who knows? Who knows? That's actually a really good question, because, I mean, if they're intelligent, if it's an intelligent haunting, they should know that that it's a reenactment, because they do it pretty frequently. So maybe they participate. Maybe they think I don't know if they think it's fun. Maybe it's stressful for them. Maybe they're telling them to stop. Who knows? Who knows? But I do know that the energy definitely picks up. Definitely. I've had a couple teams tell me they've investigated right after. I mean, you can't actually investigate at night. Like, you can't go into the park at night. The rangers there, and they will kick you out. But if you go like during the day after a reenactment, and you can, like, it's all spread out. I mean, it's fields and fields and fields, and you can go out there and you can actually do an EVP session. Just sit on a bench, stand somewhere, because that whole ground has activity. That whole area. And you can talk to them. And they said they've had a lot of really good success right after reenactments.
I always thought Gettysburg is just, sounds like, ignorant thinking, but I always thought Gettysburg it was just a field, just the one field.
No, it's a whole town. It's a whole town, a whole area, and it's all over. I mean, you're basically looking at a couple of towns. You're looking at, Gettysburg was just like kind of the main center point, just the main hub. But the whole war itself was spread all over Pennsylvania. So, but the whole town has activity. I couldn't tell you how many fields. I could not tell you how many fields. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of fields, a lot of locations, but every one of them has activity. Has to.
If you think what happened there, the amount of death, the amount, just everything, emotions, and a lot, it must, obviously there is a lot of energy there. Be positive, be negative, a mixed bag basically. Was in Gettysburg is on her bucket list. There obviously there's a lot of souls still there wondering whether they feel trapped or whether they feel they've still got a duty to do. They've still got a job to do, one last battle to fight, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, and like we said, there's still a lot in our field that we don't understand. So the possibilities are endless. Who knows? There might be some spirits who enjoy it, who enjoy the reenactment. They understand that they're doing it out of respect. There's some that, I mean, I could hopefully assume that with the amount of death and how tragic all that was, a reenactment would be just like PTSD. I mean, you'd be reenacting like the Iraqi war and stuff like that. So that would be traumatic for people. So I don't know. I could see it either way. So obviously residuals, they just do their thing. They don't know we're there. They don't care we're there. They just do their own thing. So
they're
residual.
they're still living in. They're not living in the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. You know what. You're fire the night. I swear to God, my speech is woof. You know what I mean. So what's the most frightening experience you've had? We're talking about seeing things and hearing things. I had one of them. I'm not getting back in there moments.
That's tricky. That is tricky, brother, because
The great Matt Barron.
uh, no, the idiot Matt Barron. I look at most people don't like basements or attics. They like, oh, that's creepy. No, I'm like, let's go. I'm the first one to jump into a scary and sketchy situation because it usually has the most evidence. But there's I won't say there was a time where I was actually, I don't want to say scared out, but I was a little hesitant. And now, this being said, in my 16 years, I've done over 400 cases, homes, businesses, thousands of times in the field, all over. I've only ran into 3 demonics, that I will call them. One, I had to get the church involved. I think my first case like that was probably the one I was the most hesitant on because it was something new. It was just dangerous. That was probably that one. But I still did my job. I still went in, still investigated, still helped the family, still took care of what I had to take care of. The only other time that I would say I actually backed away, and it was out of respect and safety, I actually was in the cemetery. And here in the States, we have this, usually the cemeteries have this little area of overburden, like just dirt, plants, trash bin, stuff that can decay. And that's where our outside restroom was. So we just go around the corner, just do our business and go on. Well, I was going to go do that. I turned the corner and there was a black mass about 8 to 10 feet tall that just stood up right in front of me. And I just went, "You're a lot bigger. Bye." And I just backed out. That was it. I was like, nope, not doing that. But it wasn't like I was scared. It was just like, no, you're bigger and I'm going to show you respect. Obviously, you're not human if you're 10 feet tall or 8 feet tall. So I'm backing away. But
I'll hold it till I get home.
No, I took care of that. As soon as I turned around, I was like, oh, don't need to go anymore. Cheers. But luckily there was a store nearby, a Walmart nearby. So I went to Walmart, got a new parapet. No. But no, for me, I think the reason why I'm like that is because I know that's what we're getting into. Go into the dark, scary places. We go into these situations. We know that anything can happen. And it more excites me. It's an adrenaline rush. And
I'm the exact same as you, buddy. You get to, if there's a dark basement, I'll go in. You can't see your hand in front of you, but you still go in. And we've done a couple of cases. There's these long basements, vaulted basements, with various rooms. And so you can't see your hand in front of your face. So you're walking in this basement, and you don't know what's at the other end.
Yeah.
Who's at the other end, or what's going to jump out one of the rooms, But it's the not knowing that drives you on, because you want to see, well, is something going to jump out of me here? Am I going to get possessed or, whatever? And so, I mean, a lot of people think we're nuts.
Well, we are. We're paranormal. We're paranormal. We are nuts. We're not normal.
But in a good way,
Yeah.
And
here's the other thing, brother. Like, this is one of the first lessons I've taught all my investigators. I will literally sit them in a room with the lights on like this, and then I'll turn the lights off, and I'll say, "What's the difference?" Well, I can't see. Okay, but other than that, other than the fact that you can't see, what is different? Nothing. Exactly. They're like, "What?" I go, lesson number 1. Nothing changes from day to night light to dark, besides the fact you can't see. If you can walk through a location while the lights are on, you can walk through it when the lights are off. It's the same thing.
But I think it gives that when the lights are off, it heightens your senses more.
Yeah, and it does.
Because you can't see, basically. I'm not saying you're blind, but you're relying more on your hearing and your feeling on your sight, basically. What I was saying, and I have to do a lone vigil in the most fun. Yes. But with that place, Caldwell, I was talking about last year, it's the best location we've ever done. And it's some of the best, it is the best evidence we've had to date. So Charlie and Rock's Paranormal, they're coming up the 24th, they're coming up for England.
Okay.
And Charlie says, I want you to take me to Caldwell. So that's got a big long basement. So we're going to stick Laura in the basement with no even a torch. Nothing.
Good on you.
And we're going to go to a local McDonald's or Burger King, whatever's nearest, and get something to eat. I think it's about 5-6 miles away. And then we'll go back.
Laura, just remember this. If you don't have a torch, you don't need a camera. So, because if the camera can't see, unless it has night vision. If it has night vision, good. But take a recorder. Record everything. It's really... I think a lot of people, and it is creepy. Let's be honest. We all, whether we like the horror movies or not, we all have that in the back of our head. We all have that boogie monster or whatever. We all have that thought in the back of our head. The hardest part about what we do is blocking that. You have to block that out of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always said, heck, if they pin me up against the wall or put me on a ceiling fan and I start spinning around, don't help me, record that. That's good evidence.
I filmed that. To say, there's another it's an old stately home. This place is massive. It's got a big basement. I've done a lone vigil on it. We were there with Spig about a couple of months ago, and I tunneled off myself, and we're down in the basement, and it was pitch black, and you're sitting there, and I was filming it, because there's no signal. So I'm going to do it as a live, so I'm going to record it anyway. But you're sitting there, and you get the basement that way, and your basement, and so you're constantly kind of looking about, but you do get a buzz because you just don't. That's what I always say. You just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes. If you're sitting in amongst a group in a room with lights on, you're chatting. You're not thinking about what's going to happen in 5 minutes' time. You're just chatting. But if you're sitting alone in a pitch black corridor, room, whatever, then your head starts turning, and your senses all get heightened because you think, right, what is something going to touch me?
Yeah.
You're not sitting there. Well, some people probably sit terrified. You're sitting right. You're wanting something to happen.
I egg them on. I'm like, let's go, and I'll ask questions. I'll do EVP sessions. I'll start asking a bunch of questions. I'll start challenging them. Come on over. Let's talk. Bang something. Do something. I can't see crap. Just let's go. Can you turn the lights on? I'll even say stuff like that. I'll have fun with them. And
we're no normal, and so you come out that dark corridor and you say nothing happened. So disappointed, and then you tell your friend, I was in a dark corridor a couple of nights ago and nothing happened. They would probably say, well, if it was me, I'd be relieved nothing happened. But you're disappointed.
Yeah, I would be disappointed myself. I would be. If I was in a place like that and nothing happened, I probably would be. You probably would have to drag me out because I'd be like, no, I'm not leaving. I came all the way here. I'm in the black. You can't see anything. You're going to talk to me. Come here.
All right, do something for me. You're walking in, you're gutted.
That's always what happens for me. I leave a place and all of a sudden someone behind me, oh yeah, I just caught this. Mother, really? And I go back. I'll be like, why didn't you want to talk to me?
That's happened a few times with us, something happened when you turn your back. Well, what's his bum Halloween? we done an investigation at Cut Cab over here months ago, and we've got a couple of the camping chairs, the canvasy camping chairs, and Laura was sitting down, and something grabbed her bum. Found that she just kind of shot up, you know. She didn't go, that's no noise she made. I'm just giving the effect here, and something grabbed her bum from underneath the seat.
Nothing's ever grabbed my bum yet.
I sat in it for a couple of hours and nothing happened. I was so disappointed. I didn't get a wee bum feel.
Well, Laura, you're lucky then, because I've been scratched, I've been pushed, bitten, I've heard my name screamed. I've had a lot happen to me, but I've never been grabbed like that. Never had my butt grabbed.
No, never had my butt cheek squeezed.
Why not? I don't know why not.
But it's the excitement, and it's when something happens. You probably had it as well, Matt. And we done an old building a few weeks ago, another team, and there was a set of swing doors, and 3 years, me and our two guys were standing there, just talking, and one of the doors started swinging back and forward on its own. And I was just about to go live when this happened. So we're standing there and we're looking at each other thinking, did that door just swing? So we went live, and I said, a couple of minutes ago, door swung, blah, blah, blah. But then it happened another twice on camera, and we tried to debunk this, and we could not debunk this. And we get such a buzz of it. But the first time was the best time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because the second and third time were great. We were really happy it happened.
Oh, yeah.
The first time, we just stood there and did that door to the 3 years time.
And that's why I love taking skeptics. I know Brian John Laverty was talking about this on his show. He likes skeptics. He likes taking skeptics with him, which is fine. I do too. My problem with skeptics is they only say skeptical for so long. You have that one good, solid experience. You're not a skeptic anymore. I mean, they sit there and say, "Oh, well, I don't believe in the paranormal. I'll go out and we'll, help debunk and keep everyone grounded." Okay, and they turn the corner and a spirit standing there staring at them like, "Hey, how you doing?" Yeah, they're not a skeptic anymore. I'm sorry, they had an experience like that, or a door open on their face, or lights turn on and off on their own, or something moves or screams their name or touches them. You're not a skeptic. It's like, well,
exactly.
I'm a skeptic.
Gail's husband, Gail, we met them in Holiday last year, and it was just by sheer chance we mentioned we were going over to Pendle after playing Beanie, and so Gail was right in the paranormal. So we kept in touch after that, and then the Holiday, and then they came out with Gail's husband was a skeptic, Reese. And so we took him to, it was the same place as we got that ball of light, shall we say. Yeah. And we put the headphones on him, and he was getting stuff through the headphones that was personal to him. And he kept getting told to turn round. And we had the feeling there was somebody standing behind him, up on a few bits of stone. But when he left there, he wasn't a skeptic anymore. And it's not a case of, we told you so. It's, it was a case of, well, how do you feel about it?
And see, it's a blessing and it's also a curse too, because, I like having skeptics because they do give you another side to think about. But when they have their first experience that makes them a believer, it's great because it's like, yay, finally, you understand. You now see why we love this field. But at the same time, it's like, crap, now I need to find another skeptic.
You're aware of advertising in the local paper, skeptics wanted.
Do you believe in ghosts? No? Great, we want you.
Come, we shall turn you into a believer. Come hither, my child, and believe. I mean, but I think it's important. You're on this as well, obviously. I think it's important, even though we believe, in the paranormal, we know there is something, there. Yeah. I think you need to have that bit of skeptic in you as well.
Yes,
You
you
know,
have.
I think like 80% believer, 20% skeptic, maybe round about that balance.
I'm more, for me, I'm more 50-50. Now, just like with a lot of my videos and the shows, I'm my own worst critic. I hate my voice. I hate, the way that, I love the guest, love my co-host, hate my part in it. But, in the paranormal, it's the same thing. If I go somewhere and a client or somebody tells me, oh, this is here, this is here, this is here, bet, let's find out. I will go in and I will try to debunk and I will tear through it. Excuse me, if I hear a bang, I'm not going to sit there, oh, I heard a bang. No, I'm going to be like, what was that? I'm going to go check it out. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to try to mimic that. And if I can mimic it, then I say to the spirit, if you can do it again. And I wait, don't hear anything. Okay, so then it was this. This is what happened. Don't know why it happened, but this happened. Was it a spirit? No. Could have been a wind, could have been this, could have been that. And I try to debunk it. And we have to. That's doing due diligence. You have to. Otherwise, we're just going to turn into a certain TV host where everything's demonic.
You really don't like that program, do you? You really.
Here's the thing, and God bless them. I know them and everybody else have a job to do. They have to, have ratings, but there's a certain limit. And when I found out exactly how that individual works behind the scenes too, and how he treats everybody and how egotistical he is, and then on top of that, I've said this before. I can out investigate him any day of the week, any location with my flashlight or with a phone and a flashlight. He's no, he's one of the biggest problems in our field. You want to talk about ego? Ta-da! That's why. Now I understand. Again, he's got a job to do, just like everybody else. They have to make it entertaining and have good ratings. If you're going to be on TV, be entertaining yourself. You don't need to fake stuff. And if you are going to fake something, disclaimer, you owe it to your field. If you can call yourself an investigator, you should be able to have at least the to put that up there for
Mm-hmm.
entertainment only. Because there is a field that we are trying to prove and we are trying to help people. And when you don't do your due diligence like that and you act like that and you fake stuff, you're hurting our field. Be
Yeah,
honest.
it is a couple of comments I've set them up with you saying, but no, it's hurting our field because again, getting back to new people coming out of the paranormal. I've spoken of this before. Other people, you may get people who, want to try the paranormal out, and so the voices shows, and they'll go out investigating, or they'll go in their first investigation with their friends, and they're expecting a demon to pop up, or a table to fly across the room, or because they saw it on a program. And so I always say to people, no, I mean I watch some ghost shows as well, and some are really good.
Yeah.
Some are. I'm not saying every ghost show is just dramatised. There are some genuine ones out there, and we've had them on. We've had some of them on here, but I say people don't watch the ghost shows. If you're just starting out, go to YouTube and look for small paranormal teams. No people with thousands of subs. Go for somebody's a wee drop of subs and watch them.
Yep.
Other teams that are just starting out, watch them because that's the best way you learn alongside them. And nobody, some guy in Hollywood who's got a table flying over his head every 5 minutes, a demon.
Well, and the other thing too, brother, is and this will also build our community up. If you're starting out in the field, find yourself a team to go investigate with. Don't just go out with just your friends. Go with a team. Go out and investigate. Say, hey, I'm so and so. I'm looking to build a team. My friends and I want to get into the paranormal. Can you show me around?
Mm-hmm.
What are you hurting to say no? Why wouldn't you? You want to help these people and show them the right way. You guys, that's like I said, it all starts with us, and I'm including myself. I have to act that way too. It's not I have to; it's I want to. I want to help people out, and that's the way I feel like we should be. If we really want to, promote positivity, that's where it starts.
Well, that's it. I mean, people come to us, I've had people mail me about maybe issues I've got in their house or whatever, and they'll say to me, and I'll say to them, look, I'm not the one you want to be speaking to. I'm not an expert or a specialist or anything. I say I can maybe give you my thoughts on it, but that's as far as it goes. I'm not going to give you any advice or, say 10 Hail Marys and put salt all over the place. I'm not going to, I'll maybe say, oh, well, that maybe, aye, that's kind of weird, whatever. But I'm not the guy you like to talk to. But unfortunately, out there is people who will say, well, do this, do that, and they're talking a load of BS. And they're hurting their field as well. If you don't know the answer to something, then just be honest and say, look, I don't know.
Yep, and that's why a lot of times if there's something that I'm not too familiar with, and I'll be honest, like I know a little bit about demonics. I know enough to where I'm confident to say, yeah, this is probably a demonic. But if there's something I don't know, I'll be like, you know what, in my opinion, this is what my thoughts are on it. I don't know. But I'm still getting my point across. This is my thought. But again, this is not an exact science. Because I can sit here and tell you, brother, that every spirit is purple. Can you prove me right? No. Can you prove me wrong? No. Because it's my opinion. It's my theory. And you can show me pictures. Okay, well, it's got a purplish hue to it. Still purple. It's just an opinion, and everyone has their own way of investigating. There's no right or wrong way. I mean, obviously going here, ghosty. Not a good way of doing it. I mean, it'd be funny, but everyone has their own style. Everyone has their own, style of investigating. Everyone has their own thing that makes sense to them. Do it. Have fun.
No, exactly. I'll please comments up in a wee second, ladies, I promise. As you say, everyone's got their own style, and I've said this to people as well. Some people say, I think I'm doing it the wrong way, and I've said, whoa, stop. There is no such thing as the wrong way. You go out in an investigation and do what you think is what you want to do, what you feel you're comfortable with, or whatever your gut instinct's telling you. Some people might think, oh, that's crap. You're doing it. Just forget them. Push them aside. You just go, as your investigation, as your passion, your hobby, you do it the way you want to do it. And who knows, you might get nothing. You might get diddly squat. You might get some results. So that's what I always say to them. Don't listen to people who say you're doing it the wrong way, etc., because there's no such thing. You do whatever you feels right, and that's the bottom.
100%.
I best take his comments up for the forward to me. My hubby's a skeptic. The Saturday night he felt a hot energy go straight through him from front to back. He says he can't explain it.
Welcome to the field.
There you go. Can't explain it. The guy's been out. Something's happened. He's probably still not too sure whether to believe it or not, but he can't explain it. It's for me, it's 90-10, especially after what I heard. The location went home and everything was verified, especially things only family would know. Loud and cut. That's a place we've been there a few times. Hi, PTT.
Portal to the paranormal, and I saw him right there. Nando, what is up, brother?
Mr. We were on his show a couple of weeks ago. Him and Sarah, beautiful couple. Absolutely love their food, by the way. They absolutely love their grub. But every before you get, they're always eating something.
You know, and I think that goes hand in hand with the paranormal field. We always have to eat, either before or after an investigation. We're always hungry.
You always take crap, don't you? You've always
trust me. Yeah, I do. If I could take a buffet with me, I would.
That's why I've got this. That's why I've got this wee friend here now.
Keeps me warm at night. That's it.
Too many Mars bars and stuff like that. But there is, this right and wrong way really annoys me. I think it really annoys you as well, Matt. When you get these BS's. Hi, Von Doc. Hope you're doing well. Matrix Paranormal phone runs.
Cool.
But I've always said, just go and do what. I mean, we were in investigations, we've tried things that, it popped in our head. It's not worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and see, that's the thing. Like, if I always tell people, if you go to an investigation, you go to a location, obviously ask the questions, do your due diligence, be an investigator. But if you're not getting anything, if nothing's reacting, you don't feel anything, talk about something random. Talk about sports, talk about the weather, talk about shopping, talk about food. Just be careful with that food one, because then you're going to make yourself hungry. But
Aye.
at least for me, but talk about anything and see what happens. Sometimes you'll catch some, good evidence when you're not talking about paranormal stuff.
Do you think we had this? Just we had this one night. We went to lol.So actually, and we've been there for some time. We're getting nothing, so we decided, we're going to pack up. We're going to go home. And then all of a sudden we started to get activity. As soon as we said we're going home, basically, we went towards her. Then things started to happen.
Mm.
Do you think this is just my opinion, obviously. I think sometimes you go and investigate and spirit will just hang about until they're ready. What do you think, Matt?
It's possible. I can see a couple of different scenarios. Either A, they're trying to speak with you, they just don't know how. And when you guys say, okay, well, we're not getting anything, we're just going to go, that's where they're going to get upset. They're like, well, I'm trying to talk to you. And that excitement is giving them enough energy to manifest. Or they're happy you're leaving. That could be another one too. Or it could just be a time thing. It could be, it maybe took time for them to build up the energy to do things, to manifest, to talk. It could be a variety of different things. That's what I love about this field. Like you said, everything's theory.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows?
I always say that we can have as many gadgets and stuff as money can buy, but at the end of the day, it's in the hands of spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, let's face it. You can be in this field for decades. I was going to say centuries, decades, and spend thousands on all different kind of gear. But at the end of the day, it's in the hands of spirit.
Yep.
If spirit doesn't want to talk to you, I'll no talk. What do you think?
I think if you can relate to the spirit, if you can make them more comfortable, then you'll have more chance to speak with them. Like I said, talk about different things, and not just with your investigators. Talk with the spirits. That at some point in time, the spirits, no matter what century they're from, they did something for fun. What was their activity? What made them happy? Ask them about it. Did you play baseball? Did you play soccer? Did you play football? Did you play hockey? Did you play this? Did you play that? Did you play croquet? Did you play whatever it is? Talk to them about it. What was it like growing up for you? What was your family like? What did you have any pets? What was your house like? What was your day-to-day life? Ask them stuff that isn't typical and try to connect with them.
Well, that's it. At the end of the day, they were people. They still are people, in a way. I hate it when people say, well, there's something over there. I can feel. I think you should be saying there's someone over there. Because, they're still a person, they don't have a physical body, obviously. But they still were a person. And I think a lot of people forget that they were somebody's mother, father. They had a house, they had a job, maybe, kids, Christmases, all the usual stuff.
Yeah.
And so try and talk to them as if they were still sitting beside you in the physical.
Yeah, and interview them, talk to them, hang out with them, relax with them. Do like what we do on these chats. Act like that. Have fun. Ask them. So, what's your favorite thing? Hey, do you know? I've actually asked, do you know you're dead? Do you know you're not here? I've even asked the spirit, what's it like to die? You know,
I mean, let's face it, they two questions there. Do you know you're dead? What's it like to die? It's something, especially the what's it like to die one. It's something we all wonder. But what
I
is it?
asked, and I got a response. I was on an SB7. I asked Thomas Whaley. He was the original judge, basically sheriff, judge, and all that good stuff in San Diego. His name's Thomas Whaley, and I asked him. I said, Thomas, what's it like to die? And you see, every one of my investigators go, did you really just ask that? And I went, yeah. And from the spirit box, we heard, cold. It was cold? Yeah, cold. Bring a sweater. Okay, cool. So apparently it's cold. I don't know.
Buy a heavy jacket in case you know. Sometimes
Okay.
I'll say something if I think it could be feral, etc. But I mean, that's it. I know a lot. We're guilty as well. You know, we have done. We stick to the usual questions, but then sometimes you know, I think maybe spirit gets fed up getting asked the same question time and time and time again. Are you male? Are you female? We've done it, but I think we've all done it. And we still do it from time to time as well. But as you say, change it up a wee bit.
See, I always start off with an introduction. I always say, hi, whoever's here, my name is Matt. I'm here to hang out with you, chat, talk to you a little bit. What's your name? And that's pretty much the only question that's typical that I'll ask. And I'll be like, and I'll just tell them, what's it like? What are you wearing right now? Do you have your uniform? Like we're at the battleship. Do you have your uniform on? Are you in your civilians? I was in the Navy. I was a petty officer, 3rd class. And, what about you? And just have that conversation and break yourself of that habit. I mean, yes, I did watch a lot of the shows starting out, like Ghost Hunters, Taps. The first 4 seasons, great seasons. I use that for training. They asked the right questions. They investigated. They did their due diligence. Great place to start. And I would take some questions from them, just say, what was your family like? Did you have any pets? Stuff like that. Where are you from? Are you from here? Are you from somewhere else? And just break that away and just let it go. And the more you practice it, just like investigating itself, the more you practice, the better you'll get. And then you just start rambling random crap like I do.
But that's it. Sometimes that one random question can be enough to get a spirit's attention. Get enough attention just to get you that answer. That's a great way of doing it, Matt. Introduce yourself, shows a sign of respect, which is important. Well, we always introduce our names as well. Because it is a way, because then you're not just walking in and saying, right, is there anybody here? Are you male or female? If I was spirit, I'd be like that, sod off.
Right. Now, it does depend on, again, where I'm at. Like, if the battleship, it's obviously Navy guys. World War II era, I was more laid back. I was like, hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? My name's Matt, blah, blah, blah. But if I'm going to a place that was like in the 1800s or like a plantation somewhere that's a little more formal, it's like, good evening, everybody. How are you tonight? My name is Matthew. I'll use my full name and be like, I'm just here to speak with you this evening. If you are available or if you're around, could you please come chat with me? Not here to hurt you. I'm not here to invade your privacy. I'm just in it. It's something more formal and it's something they haven't heard. It's not right into it. Like, what's your name? No. What's your name? You're going to get a response that's not too friendly with me.
I'm going to get F off, basically, but that, yes, I must have started investigations. But I think it's just finding that right balance, isn't it? And you know yourself when you found it. Again, get back to what I was saying, so new investigators, whatever you want to call, just go with your own gut feeling.
Yeah.
and just say what's in your head, no matter how stupid it might sound up here. If it's in your head and you want, just say it.
If I didn't say all the stupid stuff that was up here, I wouldn't have a podcast.
Well, that's it.
Just
Aye,
saying.
that's a good thing about these podcasts as well. You can come on, just be yourself. You don't have anything, no, we are anything special anyway. But you can just sit and just chill and talk crap if
And
you
have
want.
fun.
You know,
Have fun.
that's what these things are about. You know, and it's with sharing as well, and you know, having a wee dig at each other. You know, like Matt's hairdo, his beard. I don't think I've ever seen you clean shaven.
No, it's been a while.
Do you actually own a razor?
Yeah, actually, I do. Actually, let me see if I can find a picture of me. It's weird. Like, I'm 36, right? I go from 36, and then I shave, and then I go to 12.
9. 36, okay. I'm checking your Facebook as soon as we come up, Boyle.
I'll bring it right up. No, I'm 36. I know I look like I'm 86, but
numbers can be changed, no either. Sometimes we're not using correct words to work with spirit. We know they have died, but do they relate themselves as dead? Are they still they're still a living energy? Yep.
Mm-hmm. And you said it yourself, brother. They're people. These spirits are people.
You know, I mean, if I was to, I mean, my dad passed in 1995, and I know if I was to contact him, I wouldn't refer to him as a spirit or something. I'd refer to, you know, my dad, that he's a person. And so what's the same across the board?
Well, I will say that, God forbid when my parents do pass, if they come back, they are going to get the biggest "I told you so." Because they do not believe in the paranormal. They do not approve of what I do, and they just think it's so terrible and evil, but they don't believe in it. So when they come back, I'm going to be like, "I told you so."
My dad was with that. He was diagnosed with cancer, and he was telling like 3 months to go, or 6 months whatever to live. And I went up to see him in the hospital, and he said to me, he says, "That's me. I'm buggered." You know. So we get the kind of, because we're Glaswegians, we get the kind of sense of humour. We would slag him for it. My dad was one of these people. He didn't want sympathy. He didn't want pity. You know, he would make fun of the fact that he was dying, basically. And he said, I'm going, you know, I used to say, you'll probably come back and haunt me and all the rest. He says, listen, son, he says, I will be back. When I leave here, I'm going. There's nothing after here. It's lights out, in the ground, job done, basically. And I used to say, no, you'll be back. You know, no, he says, there's no such thing as life. And he was really, really, you know.
There you go. You said you wanted to see me clean shaven? There you go. That was the day I got married. See? 12 years old.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What happened to you? There you go. That's the first time I've ever seen him clean shaven as well.
Yeah.
With a hat.
Yeah, right. And that's the other thing. I always, unless I'm at work, I always have a hat on. We're not allowed to have a hat on at work, which makes me upset. And it makes my head cold, especially now.
Do you think I feel?
Oh, I know. Right here with you, brother. Louis, we're twins.
It was done for a good cause. You want to tell the people?
So there are 2 really good friends of mine who are doing these foundations. And the one is doing it for this individual that he knows that, yeah, right, Raymond. And he's doing, Raymond, since you're in chat, if you can get a hold of Scotty's foundation for the breast cancer. One of his good friends is going through breast cancer at the moment, and he's doing a fundraiser. So, in honor of them, until he reaches his goal, I will not have hair. We we tried to grow our hair out to donate, and there's a lot of basically rules and regulations that need to happen. We can't meet them. So my wife every year dyes her hair pink for her grandmother, and my aunt passed of breast cancer. So he's doing this for it's just my way of showing my support. So that's why my head's cold. And I will not have hair back. I will keep it just like it is until Scott reaches his goal and until I don't know. At least till Scott reaches his goal. Until my wife yells at me.
You might always stay like you just might keep it like that.
That's definitely a thought, but my wife likes me to have hair. She likes a little bit of hair here so she can grab a hold of me when I don't listen.
You might end up a bald spirit. Who knows? I mean, you might end up a bald spirit. One saying respect to you, Matt. Yeah, a very, very worthy cause. Any chance Matt can put the link up so we can donate?
Raymond, do you have that link? Because I don't have the ability to comment on here. I'll tell you what I can do though. Let me see. Let me see what I can do, guys. Give me 1 second. Might be able to do it this way. Bear with me 1 moment. I'm going to like 6 different websites.
That's fine, buddy. You send it to me and I can put it up on the page as well.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm sending it to you right now, brother. So there's that. And now I'm going to try to find the live stream and try to comment it. Unless Raymond gets to it first. Actually, I might be able to put it. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. So there's that. And then I'll even post it in Paranormal and History, the page.
Yeah, if you put it in the group, I'll
There it is. Yeah, that Facebook user, that one's me. There you go.
And I'll put it up on the page for you as well. So I have to say send it to me. But we'll get that up on the page. So a very, very worthy cause. But I think we'll wrap it up there, young man.
Wait, is there somebody else backstage? You said young man.
Oh, sorry, Algin.
There you go. That's better.
That made you feel better. But I'm going to keep a hold of you for a couple of minutes after we come off, if that's all right.
By all means.
So where can people find you?
Where can't they? No. I'm on. You can find my shows on Parapost Network Central on Facebook. You can find me on Paralinks. You can also find me on the Paracrew podcast on Facebook, Paranormal Consultant. That's on the Paracrew podcast is on Facebook and YouTube. So I'm all over the place. I'm all over.
Yeah, it's literally same as his hair.
No, that's just gone.
I can make hair jokes because I qualify.
Oh, that's true.
No, he's not quite there.
The one thing though, and the reason why I wear a hat, especially on these podcasts, is look at that glare. That is a glare. That is terrible. See, you got dark settings. See,
there's a glare there.
That's a little bit.
There's a
there you go. He found it.
There's a light there, folks.
Yep.
We'll watch the beginning back. Thanks, boy. So that's where you can find them, folks, everywhere. Just look up Paranormal Consultant and drop him a wee mail, a follow, a tick, whatever the hell, I don't know. Whatever you want to do. Just get in touch with me anyway. So a million thanks, Matt. As I say, I'll hold on to you for a wee minute or two after we come off. A million thanks. We finally got together.
Right? Always enjoy our chats, brother.
So people find bald men sexy. Just saying, gentlemen.
Now the big question: do you want beard or no beard?
And then you see when you take your hat off, it looks like your head's upside down.
It does, doesn't it?
Aye. So you'd need to stand. Technically, you'd need to stand on your head to look normal.
I'm too fuzzy. I'm too fluffy for that. I'm too round. It just throws my center of balance off, and I just go, yeah.
Oh, there's the verdict is in. Beard. I do call Matt big sexy.
He does.
I'll leave that between you guys. That's a whole different show. No, a whole different channel. Right? But thanks for this, folks. Excuse me. Thanks for your comments and stuff. Much appreciated. We're back tomorrow night. Coming back after she's been away for a while. Medium Karen Frey, owner and founder of Festival of the Unexplained as well, and Haunted Magazine. And she's also a holistic therapist. I think I got that. Really interesting lady. She's been a couple of months since we've seen her, but she's coming on tomorrow night to say hello and talk about a new bi-monthly show we're going to be starting. I Make It Awkward too. Mm-hmm. Okay. But we're going to say goodnight just now, and we will be seeing Matt again because he can't keep away from us Scottish people. It's the hair that does it.
Obviously we're related somehow. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is just, yeah.
And whenever is there a time there's such eye candy in the room?
Oh, you meant, yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about yourself. I was like, I'll agree with that one. Me.
See, if you look at my hand, it's going like that.
Well, we give choices.
You can have it bald or beard. Or a baldy beard. Beard the bald. I don't know. Right, we're off, folks.
That is another show, too.
Another whole show, isn't it? Oh, I just liked on what I said. Well, never mind. I didn't mean with it. I meant above the chin.
Oh, I got what you meant.
Good. Thank you, Lord, for that. No, I mean, don't want a strike. I mean, we'll talk to you tomorrow night, folks. Hopefully you'll join us and you'll see Matt again at some point. Take care. Bye.